Well, hey, good morning and welcome to Friday. The big thing on the list today, I gotta get all my grades in. I hate grading. It's the least fun part of teaching because, well, it just is. It's the paperwork. It's the technical side of it. And if I had my druthers, we would just make cool stuff all the time and that would be reward enough. But sadly it is not. So it's the last school day. The kids are gone, but I have to work. I will work most of the summer probably because I'm trying to make new work for myself. My friend and I are gonna go out and get waffles. We're actually gonna try and get waffles today. She thought, and I agree, symbolically that's a good way to end the year. You know, we've been trying to get waffles on the last day. Let's go and actually get waffle. In terms of updates on my life, hold on, someone's coming. You know, yesterday morning I wrote to my attorney and asked him a bunch of questions. He wrote me back an amazing, like it was a really detailed, long email yesterday midday. He's fantastic. I think so highly of him. So it's good. I may call him today to follow up on some stuff, but his perspective on where I am with stuff was reassuring. He thinks I'm doing okay. He thinks I'll be okay going forward, regardless of if I mediate next week or it's good. I came away from that feeling like, okay, cool. And I heard back from the mediator and I voiced my concerns about meeting with her after she met with my wife, and she wrote back a lot of good things, and she's willing to meet with me for 45 minutes for free to have the same kind of consultation she had with my wife. So I think I'm going to try and set that up for next Thursday, and let's start to move it forward, I guess. A little more together this morning than I was last night. Let's stay strong for as long as we can. I have therapy today and I'm so grateful because I could really use some advice in figuring out what I'm dealing with is feeling abandoned. I hope she can advise me on some abandonment stuff because I don't know how to deal with it. There's nothing I can do, so maybe she has strategies or ways for me to rethink things so that I can feel okay. All right, waffles, school, therapy, and then I don't know what. Waffles done and delicious. I actually just had one waffle. It was a pecan waffle and it was great. I have 4 hours and 30 minutes to get all the grading done and submitted. So emotions are okay right now. We'll see how the day goes. Thank God I'm going to therapy. I'll see you later. Here's the problem with having been married to the kind of person that can shut everything down. I can't shut it down. The emotion's not gone and off. I haven't moved on in the way that she has. So everything reminds me of her. Everything reminds me of our life. I'm not leaving this place. You know, I love living here. And I'm just driving home from the pancake place right now. And I can't lie, the city seems less bright. We moved here together and explored the city. And it was exciting. And we felt lucky to live here and lucky to be together. It was special. And I'm afraid right now that the city will feel different to me. I'll feel like I'm just living in some city. I love it here. I love the people here. I love the weather here. There's so much good, but there's so much tied to her. This is part of it. I have all this nostalgia, all these references I want to make, all these jokes I want to make. And I don't think I'll ever get to do that again because she's the kind of person that can shut it off. So I don't know that she's nostalgic. The way she always told me stories, much of the time the stories ended badly. The stories ended with somebody betraying her or hurting her or doing something to her, and then the story just ended. And I feel like that's going to happen here. Our story just ends, and she's not going to look back on it. She's not going to look back on us favorably. She's not going to be nostalgic for it because she just shut it off. If she had any predisposition for nostalgia, she couldn't just shut it off because we had 7 really good years that she just stopped. And that's telling me, and I think I need to internalize this, that's telling me it's over. Like, it's done. She severed it, and it's over. You know, she's not going to send me a Christmas card. She's not going to look back favorably. Like, it's done. We're done. And that's a tough one to come to terms with. She thought we could be done amicably. I don't think she actually believes that. I think she knows those are the words you should say. All right, I'm off to school to get my grades done, to get everything turned in. Hopefully I'm going to get my Gray Malin pictures framed. I think that would be a little victory if I could get those done and up. This has been the weirdest freaking day yet, maybe? Not even being sensational. So I found out some information this morning that I don't think I can talk about yet, but I found out some information from someone who knows, and I don't know yet from her, for developments that are absolutely insane and crazy making. Like, I can't believe it. When I heard the news, I laughed out loud because no normal person does what she's doing. I don't even know how she's doing what she's doing. I'll probably edit this next little bit out. She's buying a $1.6 million horse property in a barn with horse stalls, and she might be out of work for a while. She's just gonna move and not have a job. How is she doing this? I know the money she has in Fidelity. She's got $1,000. You can't buy a $1.6 million property with that. How do you do that? How do you own a horse property? Is it a business? Do you have people stay there and you board their horses? Like, is he working connections to make that happen? Are they gonna hire, workers there that are, I don't get what's going on. This is crazy. I'm abandoned and now just somehow beaten. I don't know why this is affecting me so much. It's just, I think the level of crazy is too much. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Oh God, the anxiety right now, it's on par with the early on days of her just breaking up with me. Like, the unbelievability of it all. Like, I can't believe this is happening, and I can't put words to it. I don't get it. The best part of this is I have therapy in an hour, so I can go be a mess in front of somebody who will actually listen to me. She's fully starting a new life. I texted her back today saying that I got an appointment with a mediator, and for next Thursday. She wanted to do Monday, Tuesday, and I said I have an initial meeting on Thursday. And she hasn't written me back because she hasn't gotten her way, and that's what she does. She punishes by being silent. She is so predictably narcissistic. Her means of control are transparent at this point. Once you see it, once you see the patterns, it's there and you can see it and you can predict it. It doesn't make it any less painful though. This whole relationship we had feels discredited and discounted, and the pain of being with someone like her. I'm worried that I'm damaged. I'm worried that I won't be good in a new relationship, that I'm broken, and that my perspective in a new relationship will be skewed, that I won't be as loving or patient or tolerant or giving because I'll be afraid that the person I'm with is evil or is looking to is just taking advantage of me. That's awful. Like, how do I not repeat this? How do I find someone? How do I find love and feel love and let myself go? Like, will I ever be able to let myself go into a relationship and love and be awesome? Or will I forever be guarded because of this experience? She's done a lot of damage. How long has this been in the works? I can't even imagine. How can you be with somebody? The story is this. They fell in love on the trip to Amsterdam. That's when they fell in love. And they're so in love that 3.5 months later, they're buying a $1.6 million horse property. Shortly before she was in love with him, she was in love with me. But she does have the ability to just shut it off. She always promised me she could never not be in love with me. So if it can happen with me, it could happen with him, right? Man, I hope so. I hope that goes down in flames. This is what I look like after I cry through therapy for an hour. This was a hard one. Yeah, this was hard. I'm talking about my stuff. It all has so much meaning for me that the trying to process this thing with her is hard because we're not the same. We're not balanced. Things I'm nostalgic for, I don't think she is. I don't know if I want to talk right now. You know when you get like every time you want to talk, like you just well up and your throat tightens and you sound terrible? Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm just so sad and lonely, and my therapist is amazing. She looks on me with kindness and she listens, and her advice is good and her responses are good, and I understand why people develop feelings for their therapists, because in there I feel cared about. I feel like she's concerned for me. She listens. She asks me questions. It is a relationship. By this point, I've met with her 8 times, 10 times. She knows me. She knows me in pain. She knows me more than most people. Just to finish, I feel really cared about with her. It's so valuable. I'm in a really sad place today, a really low place, a really anxious place, finding out some of my wife's future plans are really jarring. I need to find meaning in my life. And that's not a dramatic thing. I think so much of my meaning was defined by my relationship and being amazing for somebody and loving unconditionally. Like I found so much meaning in that, and the meaning is gone. She just left. So I don't even get to exercise that will or do something I do well. So now I have to find something else I can do well to fill my time, to keep my thoughts from getting distracted by the pained thoughts of her. And I know at some point I'll get to a point at which I'll think, God, she wasn't worth it, but I'm not there. I'm so hurt by all of this. And she's just gonna up and leave, and that's gonna leave me feeling abandoned. Abandoned in a really amazing city. Abandoned in paradise. But when I'm at low moments, I would rather be stuck with her somewhere miserable, or the her I thought she was. Yeah, I'd rather be stuck with her figuring out how to make life better somewhere bad than alone without her somewhere amazing. And then on my good days, I think, well, this is the best possible place to get broken up with because there's so many great people here. I just need to find somebody and have somebody find me desirable. But I don't feel very desirable right now. Right? So that's a double-edged sword. I'm available, but not desirable. Because I'm broken. I need to unbreak me. Here's where it gets challenging. It is the last day of school. It is Friday night, and I'm alone. I was a mess at therapy today. I don't know exactly why. It was probably my most emotional session I've ever had. There's a lot to process in this thing. And one thing leads to another, leads to another. The feeling that I've been abandoned by my wife. The feeling, a really big one, is that I have 7 years of really the highest highs in my life and the bright points and really amazing things. And I don't think I'll ever be able to look back on those favorably with her. You know, when you have a friend, when you have a best friend, or someone you shared stuff with. That was interesting. Part of the joy is looking back on the time you spent together and being nostalgic. And being like, hey, remember that dinner we had here? God, that was amazing. And look back favorably on it. But the way she's ended this relationship, I don't know that we'll be in a position where we can look back favorably on it. Because right now it's horrible. It's terrible. She's being cruel and unkind, and that light is crazy because it's bouncing off a mirrored building. I am super glamorous and my face looks awesome. And that's a really sad thing. Hey, there's me in the background. To have the best years of my life, and they are. My time with her was the best years of my life so far. And to have all the highs of that, to have all the high points of the best years of my life be things that I probably won't be positively reflected back on, or that we'll never meet. We'll never talk about how great our rehearsal dinner was or how great our wedding was because she's in love with somebody else. Like, I don't imagine we're going to reflect back on some of the amazing dinners we've had together because she's gone and she's made a new life with somebody else. And that's really sad because in my time with her, I didn't talk very much about my previous life because she didn't like my ex. So I keep going through these iterations of life where I don't talk about my previous life, even though I've had really rich experiences in my previous life. I mean, there's no sense, I'm lamenting it, but there's nothing I can do. This was always a fight I was gonna lose. If right now, 3.5 months in, she's planning the things I've heard about her planning with him, which are huge, there's no way she's ever gonna talk to me about the life we had again. She's gone forever. Also, the scale of things that they're planning together really makes me doubt that they've only been together for 3.5 months. It makes me wonder when it all began. Did it all begin the day they met? When did it start? Because the scale of what they're doing after 3.5 months, nobody would do. She and I bought our condo together after we were together for 4 years, and it was still like, whoa. And we were married. I don't know what the hell is going on. It's just crazy. And hey, new guy, if you're watching this, get used to it. That's what she does. My arm's getting tired. I'm gonna walk to the paint store and feel what colors I'm into and make another painting or two. It's Friday night and I'm so grateful for my therapist. What a weird job it must be to sit somewhere and have somebody, such as myself, talk to you and just cry and suffer and break down in the pursuit of processing the trauma that they've been through. I mean, that's what I'm doing, right? I'm sitting there and I'm talking, and I talk about things that come to mind and upset me, and she helps me make sense of it. I guess if you're good at what you do, and she is, maybe it's a gratifying job. I wonder if after a day like today, she feels like she did good for me, because she did, and I feel compelled to call her. Like, I feel compelled to tell her that, like to call her line and just say, thank you so much for being kind today, because it was a hard day and it meant a lot to me. But is that weird? Like, I don't know what protocol is for a therapist. You know, I don't know if that would be like, hey, listen, man, you're overstepping. Also, I paid her for her time, so it's not like she was a friend who met me for coffee and just put up with me. But even still, I'm grateful. I just took myself out to dinner. I went to Queenstown again because I like it. And the table for one is always sad to ask for. She's like, oh, do you want to go sit in the bar? And I was like, no, I'd like a table. I want to eat like a normal person. And it's lonely. And you know, several couples showed up who were definitely on first dates. And I judged them. I did. These women who are fantastically dressed. And these dudes who are super schlubby. Like you're going on a date, man. Dress up, like look the part. I would do that. Maybe that's what comes next. Maybe that's how you meet people. You just put it out there and dress up for a date and ask nice questions. And don't be a douche. And I think more about him lately. And I think about things like, hey, when she gets tired of you, and she will, she's just gonna go, because that's what she does. And I wanna warn him, but I don't know why I wanna warn him. I don't know if I wanna warn him to hurt her, or warn him to save him, you know, as a sort of like kindness to other humans. At the end of the day, he did a crappy thing by getting together with a married woman. You know, it's not like he said, hey, deal with your relationship, then come find me. He just went balls to the wall for it. So there's more of a story there. I'll probably never know it. God, I hope they crash and burn. Maybe tonight. That'd be good. Weird day.